The Vice President of India has sent a letter to the President of India saying that he wants to move on and that he has decided to prioritize his health care and abide by medical advice. And I hereby resign as the Vice President of India, effective immediately in accordance with Article 67A of the Constitution. What does it actually mean, and why is Jagdeep Dhankhar choosing to retire or resign at this point? Because this resignation certainly is crucial. We did see him in action today on day one of the monsoon session. Now the Vice President saying that he wishes to resign from his position because he has to prioritize his health care and medical advice he is abiding by. This is huge. I mean, we saw him in action today, Aishwarya, and now this letter coming in from the Vice President, which he has sent to the President of India, saying that he wishes to move on.
Well, certainly, and just a few months back, remember, Jagdeep Dhankhar was admitted to AIMS as well regarding his deteriorating health conditions, and doctors had advised him to take a few weeks of complete rest. And we've seen at that point in time as well, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar out of action, but he was again back visiting several places across the country, going to different states, addressing different universities, students at different programs as well. Today he was seen in action in the upper house of the parliament, but a sudden news that came in as far as the resignation that he has sent to the President of India, mentioning that he wants to prioritize healthcare and abide by the medical advice that has been given to him, and he hereby resigns as the from the post of Vice President of India, effective immediately in accordance with Article 67A of the Constitution. He also expressed his deep gratitude to the Prime Minister and the esteemed Council of Ministers. Prime Minister's cooperation and support have been invaluable, is something that he has also written in his resignation letter that he has sent to the President. He also went on to say that he is deeply thankful for invaluable experience and insights that he has gained as a Vice President in the great democracy of the country. And as at last he mentions that as he leaves his esteemed office, he is filled with pride and in Bharat's global rise and phenomenal achievements, and hold unwavering confidence in brilliant future as well. And the letter has been sent to the President of India. Certainly a shocking resignation, but remember, his health was deteriorating. We have seen him admitted in AIMS, and doctors earlier had advised him to take a complete health rest, is what he had expressed in his resignation.
He became the Vice President of India in 2022, which essentially means that he had 3 more years as the tenure of the Vice President. And before that, he had served as the governor of West Bengal. Vice President Dhankhar, now he is no longer the Vice President as he has resigned, was seen as someone who could reach out to both the sides in the opposition and also in the treasury benches. He was known for his wit and certainly very sharp repartee. Of course, he is also one of the most polarizing when it came to his tenure as the Vice President and the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. But Aishwarya, he drew some very, very sharp reactions from the opposition parties.
Well, certainly, and someone who's very vocal in the Rajya Sabha, we have often seen him giving lessons to the members who came new. In fact, some of the work that he has done as the Rajya Sabha chairperson, giving chairs to the newly elected members of the Rajya Sabha. Jagdeep Dhankhar is one Vice President that will be always remembered for the kind of signatures and the opposition clearly taunting him on many fronts that it is Vice President who does not allow many of them to speak in the upper house of the parliament, but altogether meets everybody in the chambers. Certainly guides new MPs who had been coming to the upper house as well. But certainly, yes, of course, 3 years were left. Jagdeep Dhankhar had been very, very vocal about the judiciary. He has been giving statements on how the Modi government had been progressive enough and taking India ahead as well, criticizing the opposition time and again. He had been West Bengal governor. We have seen him facing a lot of critics from the West Bengal government as well. But certainly, now as he has resigned from immediate effect and citing the health reasons, sends a shockwave across the political spectrum. It is, of course, the health reasons that he had cited, but certainly it would be very interesting to see that how the government and, the opposition reacts to his resignation.
Okay, so let's get an opposition reaction and from Charan Singh Sapra here. Aishwarya, continue to be with us. How is the Congress party viewing this? Of course, this has come all of a sudden, Mr. Sapra, and of course, I had invited you for a different discussion altogether. But this resignation of the Vice President.
I feel it is his personal decision, and I would not like to comment much on it. He has been a good parliamentarian, he has been a good leader, he has been doing his duty very well, I would like to say. But as far as the decision is concerned, it is absolutely his personal decision. Prima facie, whatever I have heard now or whatever I am watching now, it is his decision. So maybe much cannot be commented on it.
Okay, Akhilesh is also joining us. Akhilesh, what made the Vice President resign? Of course, he is saying that this is because of the health reasons.
Well, this is the official reason which has been given by Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar in his letter to the President, and he has resigned from his post, which is very rare because normally the Vice President is elected for a tenure of 5 years. He has just completed only 2 years. He was elected in 2022. So for that matter, it's very surprising that without even completing his tenure, he has decided to resign. In fact, in the evening also, he was chairing the upper house, the Rajya Sabha. In fact, the motion against Justice Verma was moved, and he has given a ruling on that particular motion also. So it's very surprising that at the night he has decided to tender his resignation. There was no indication as far as Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar is concerned. In fact, he has mentioned that his health was not okay, and that's why he has decided on the medical advice to tender his resignation. If you recall, Maria, in March this year, he was rushed to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences at 2 a.m. Because of the chest pain. He was admitted there. He had undergone some procedures also, and after that he resumed his duties. But his tenure has been very controversial. If you recall, in the last year in December, the opposition parties were not happy with his conduct as a chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, and in fact had moved a no-confidence motion against him. But that was for certain political reasons, and after that the no-confidence motion was rejected by Vice Chairman Harivansh. But now in March he was not keeping well, and but after that he was recovered fully. In fact, today he was conducting the House. Today was the first day of the monsoon session, and he was there in the House throughout the day. On various occasions also he intervened, and in the beginning also he expressed hope that the monsoon session continues, and the opposition members were their cooperation also sought by him. So it's very surprising that he resigned.
It has come certainly as a huge surprise. Clyde, your thoughts on this? Of course, Jagdeep Dhankhar was known to not mince his words whenever it came to running the House as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. He has cited health reasons. He had 4 more years, in fact 3 more years as the Vice President, but this is for the first time it has happened perhaps, and I would ask my producers to perhaps help us with the data. Has it ever happened that a Vice President has resigned mid-term? Clyde, your thoughts on this?
Well, Mr. Dhankar has resigned on health grounds. What can I say much? Because that's his own personal choice. If he's not keeping well and he wants to take care of himself, well, he has resigned. We have to respect that because every individual has the right and the prerogative to take some decisions. I wish him all the best. I wish him good health in the future, a very long life. Well, controversies have happened. Those are now of the past, and, political things can keep going on. But wishing the ex-vice president, like you just said, that he's resigned, all the best, and I wish him good health in the future.
Okay, Brijmohan Srivastava and Krishna Hegde, let's take, a word from both of you as well. Krishna Hegde, of course, this is his personal decision. He is saying that this is because of the health reasons, and he would like to abide by the advice of doctors. But Mr. Dhankar was active in the House today.
No, absolutely, and he's got a very distinguished career. I think we should wish him well, wish his family well. He's done very well in the House, very well in the Rajya Sabha as the chairman, and therefore his personal decision, I think we should all accept it. And especially if it comes to health condition, I think no one better than himself to judge, his health conditions and whatever is best for him and his family. And therefore, we wish him all the best, even for the future. And I hope he goes on to serve the country in various capacities if he wishes to.
What do you think Brijmohan Srivastava, his tenure will be remembered for? The 2-year-long tenure?
Why not? Why not? I know Dhankar Sahab personally. He's a very jubilant and very effective politician. He was in NCP also. He was the state president of Rajasthan of our party. So we know personally, but why he has given this resignation, he explained in his resignation also. So I personally feel that we should not discuss this matter. It is a very personal issue, and if person feels that he's unable to perform his duty, so he can resign. And I am sure because really he is ill, therefore he has given this resignation. Otherwise, there was no demand of this, and he was performing very well since last so many years. And this is not a subject to discuss on this channel.
Okay, of course. But because it has happened and it is sudden, that's the reason why it is being discussed right now. I would be going to the reporters in just a bit. So for all of those who are tuning in right now, remember, Mr. Dhankar became the vice president. He was elected as the vice president in 2022, and his tenure was to end in 2027. But this has been cut short because of his own decision. He has decided to resign as the vice president. He has sent his resignation to President Droupadi Murmu, his resignation being sent just a few minutes ago. And in his resignation, he has gone on to say that he has decided to prioritize his health and abide by the medical advice. And hereby he resigns as the vice president of India. Let's bring in Akhilesh again, if he is still with us. Akhilesh, of course, the question is, Aishwarya, if he is with us, okay, so we'll be getting the reporters in just a bit. But a lot of questions, and Mr. Brijmohan Srivastava, as someone who is close to Mr. Jagdeep Dhankhar, your thoughts on how he ran the House?
His performance is one of the best performance since last so many years. We have saw him speaking on each and every subject, and he was always welcome by both the sides, the Treasury bench as well as the opposition also. So, and he's having vast relation with each and every politician, and he was a very sensible person. So, we personally feel, the NCP also personally feel, that if he has given the resignation, really he's not feeling well. Therefore, he has taken this decision. Otherwise, nobody demanded his resignation, and there was nothing like that. So we have to believe on him.
All right, I would request all the guests to continue to be with us. This is the piece of breaking news which is coming in. I'll be connecting with Aishwarya Jain, who has got us this news in just a bit. Remember, Jagdeep Dhankhar, before he became the Vice President of India, also served as the Governor of West Bengal. He also served as the Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs in Chandrasekhar's ministry, Prime Minister Chandrasekhar's ministry. And in July 2022, he was announced as the vice presidential nominee of the NDA, and then he went on to win that election. In all these 3 years, I would say now, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar's tenure has been pretty checkered in the sense of he faced a lot of criticism from the opposition of being biased, not being really someone who was running the house in the fair manner. But Mr. Jagdeep Dhankhar always said that he was abiding by the constitution. Let's bring in Vasudha now. Vasudha, it is definitely coming as a huge surprise to one and all, because he was seen as running the house today, just few hours ago.
Absolutely, Maria. In fact, he did talk about not just the importance of dialogue, but he also talked about, the rules that exist when it comes to passing the motion of, impeachment against Justice Yashwant Verma. And we were all listening to it. In fact, this whole fight, this whole war of words between JP Nadda and Mallikarjun Kharge also took place. So clearly nobody saw this coming, but in his letter, he has made it very clear that this is for healthcare and to abide by medical advice, and it's in accordance with the Constitution, so something that is well in tune with his personality, somebody who's seen as constitutional expert. He has resigned from the post of Vice President, so that automatically also means that he will no longer be the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. We are trying to find out what could be the reasons for this and what really is the subtext for this, and this clearly is an evolving story, and like many people were speculating, this monsoon session has started with a powerful explosive news, and we'll have to wait and see how this pans out.
So, but what happens now, in the Rajya Sabha, who runs the Rajya Sabha? It will be the deputy chairman who will run the Rajya Sabha clearly now, because the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, which is essentially the vice president, there is nobody on that chair anymore. So that is a crisis. It could become a constitution crisis.
Absolutely. There is the Deputy Chairperson, Harivansh. In fact, Harivansh was present when today Ramo Naidu, the Civil Aviation Minister, was answering all those questions as well. So there is the Deputy Chairperson. But most importantly, Maria, like you would also understand that Vice President Dhankhar, Jagdeep Dhankhar, was brought in with a lot of fanfare because, remember, he has had a career as a very successful lawyer, accomplished lawyer. He's somebody who understands constitutional, systems and his tenure has also been quite fiery because you remember the suspensions that took place, the fact that, he was also someone who was combative with the opposition. So clearly not, something that was completely free of any controversies. But clearly this was something that people did not see it as coming. And yes, of course, now Harivansh is the deputy chairperson and he remains in charge of the House. But clearly there is a need. I mean, there will be the vice president and we'll have to wait and see what kind of processes put in place now.
Yes, so the vice president of India, ladies and gentlemen, is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. And that is the reason why when Jagdeep Dhankhar resigns as the vice president, it essentially means that he cannot run the House. So who runs the Rajya Sabha is the big question. So in the interim, it will be the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha, that is Mr. Harivansh Rai. He is the one who will be running the Rajya Sabha as it convenes tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. This remains our top focus here on NDTV. A quick break and then we return.